Google's Gemini 3.6 Flash just took the #1 spot on the L26 Artificial Intelligence leaderboard, displacing Anthropic's flagship Claude Fable 5 model. The internet loves an upset. The immediate media consensus was that a highly efficient, cheaper model designed for speed had managed to take down a premium, highly expensive system. But this bar chart shows exactly how it happened, and it reveals a massive problem. Gemini scored a 16.8 to beat Claude's 14.7, but when we pull back, we see that out of a total possible 26 points, 16.8 is still a failing score. And the L26 benchmark doesn't test complex coding abilities or the bar exam. It tests something much simpler, the ability to output the basic closed operating alphabet of a specific language. When you look across the leaderboard, not a single one of the 23 most advanced models in the world can reach that 26-point mastery bar. Gemini didn't pass the test. It merely failed slightly less spectacularly than every other advanced AI in the world. This is a standard dictionary, demonstrating how we explicitly organize English. As a control group, every single model tested perfectly recovered the English alphabet, scoring 26 out of 26. To see where the systems break down, we have to look at the experimental group. 3 Bantu languages, Bemba, Kinyarwanda, and Luvale. In these languages, the foundational operating unit isn't a single letter, it's the syllable. For a language like Bemba, the test requires the model to identify a native inventory of exactly 480 specific, valid syllables. The performance completely collapses. Gemini's winning score on Bemba translates to a 19.1 on the benchmark's standardized scale. That is the equivalent of missing nearly a third of the English alphabet. This structural failure exposes a massive discrepancy. The models process the foundations of different languages in 2 entirely different ways. Researchers call this the Einstein test for language. Imagine if humanity had produced trillions of words of English text, but never explicitly wrote down the A through Z list. Could an AI look at all those scattered words and independently discover the exact 26 letters? This image shows Mandarin pinyin syllables mapped onto a grid. English and Mandarin operate on declared knowledge. Their rules are explicitly documented, standardized, and repeated thousands of times across the internet. Bantu syllable inventories represent discovered structure. The syllables exist in the spoken language and in the text, but there are almost no standardized, machine-readable lists of them online. The AI has to build the blueprint itself from scattered evidence. The results of the Einstein test are clear. Artificial intelligence is a brilliant memorizer of human declarations, but a terrible independent discoverer of hidden patterns. This diagram illustrates L26's strict grading mechanics. If a valid unit is missing, the recall score drops because dependent words generate incorrectly. The model cannot simply guess. Adding invalid units destroys its precision score, introducing noise into the foundation. The risk of guessing is so high that when Anthropic's Claude was tested through its standard developer API, it entirely refused to attempt the benchmark. Its safety layer blocked the request to prevent the system from hallucinating. Because modern AI systems lack confidence in their own structural knowledge, they are completely backed into a corner. They either output incomplete, hallucinated guesses, or they hide behind an outright safety refusal. There is a direct intervention for this problem, known as the scaffolded test. This schematic shows what happens when we change the prompt. Instead of making the AI guess, the calibrated full syllable inventory is fed directly into the prompt before asking the model to perform the task. The performance spikes immediately. The exact same frontier models that blindly failed the Bantu languages suddenly approach perfect scores once the structure is provided. The AI models are entirely capable of utilizing this linguistic structure. Their only failure was the inability to construct the tools themselves. This clarifies the problem with low-resource languages. A language can have millions of words of text online and still completely lack a verified, declared operating foundation. Scraping raw text from the internet cannot substitute for building actual linguistic infrastructure. The AI industry needs to look past hollow leaderboard victories and start building this missing infrastructure. Otherwise, our most advanced models will remain fluent on the surface while completely empty underneath.